The question?
I do, yes. Thank you very much. Senator Harder, we meet again. And from my review of Bill S-4, it appears that there are no additional powers being granted to the opposition or to the leader of the opposition in this bill as compared to the current version of the Parliament of Canada Act. Instead, what Bill S-4, in my review of it, includes in these several references to the opposition is the granting of the same powers to 3 additional undefined parliamentary groups. So as such, Bill S-4 seems to dilute these key powers of the opposition and its important historical role. This makes the opposition merely one of several groups in the Senate. Senator Harder, are there any references to or powers of the opposition which are now in Bill Bill S-4, but which are not in the current Parliament of Canada Act?
Senator Harder.
Well, thank you for your question, Senator, and you make me almost nostalgic for question period of my time as government representative. Let me say that the bill is intended to reflect the changes to this chamber, and this bill does not change the role and function of the opposition. So therefore, there are no changes to that role, either in circumscribing its role and abilities and competencies, and in respect of the appointments of parliamentary officers, it reflects the practice of this government, both in the last parliament and this.
Senator Batters, did you have another question?
I do, yes, thank you. Senator Harder, one of the main features, as you described, of Bill S-4 is the entrenching of brand new nomenclature in the Parliament of Canada Act. We have had terms like leader of the government and leader of the opposition and whip in the Senate and in many other parliamentary systems and jurisdictions for decades and sometimes for centuries. But what's basically brand new, historically speaking, are terms that are in Bill S-4, like facilitator and liaison and government representative, etc. Those terms were really only first used by some in the Senate a few years ago, since the Trudeau government has been in power. So, Senator Harder, I note that in Bill S-4, none of those brand new terms are even defined in this bill. And as such, if this bill passes, the Parliament of Canada Act would not include definitions for those words. And under Bill S-4, people holding those undefined position names will receive significant amounts of taxpayers' dollars on an ongoing basis. So, Senator Harder, why aren't those particular terms defined? And what do you think the government should do to fix that? Thank you.
Thank you for
Senator
your question.
Harder.
Thank you for your question, Senator. I believe that the government ought not interfere in the practices of the Senate in any way. What this bill does, it is permissive in allowing the nomenclature that is preferred by various groups to be used. It doesn't force those changes. It makes them permissive. So I think what you will find, Senator, is that the practices and experience of the last 2 parliaments will be reflected on an ongoing basis, and we all know what those roles are. Nor, frankly, has the Parliament of Canada Act defined what the roles of previous nomenclature have been.